It just might be one of those regional things. You never know. All right, we're back on the Mana Symbol channel. We're gonna play something a little wacky here. This is a brew from me to you. So I've been playing a lot of Chandra Hope's Beacon with turn spells in the Pioneer format. We have a different selection of turn spells available in Modern, and a different selection of tools, plus a 6-mana Planeswalker is a little bit harder to pull off, but she is so powerful, we're going to see if we can. So it's 4 red for a legendary Planeswalker Chandra. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, copy it, you may choose no new targets for the copy. This ability triggers only once each turn. +2, add 2 mana in a combination of colors, +1, exile the top 5 cards of your library. Until the end of your next turn, you may cast an instant or sorcery spell from among those exiled cards. And -X deals X damage to each of up to 2 targets. So obviously a super powerful effect all on its own. Synergizes really, really well with inexpensive spells because you can play it and then immediately add 2 mana and cast either a Growth Spiral or a Fire Ice or what have you. But then you also can fork either Savor the Moment or Time Warp very powerfully, because then you get 2 extra turns if it's the first instant or sorcery you've played on that turn. So the idea here is to use Chandra Hope's Beacon to take a bunch of extra turns and either kill our opponent with that, attacking with Hall of Storm Giants or something to that effect, burning them out with Lightning Bolts, or ultimating a Ren and 6. So, fork, can you say that on Twitch? I'm pretty sure you can. I mean, I've just done it multiple times, so sure hope so. We're using the card Fire's Invention. Fire's Invention allows us to play spells for free as long as we have enough mana twice per turn. So the synergy here is Fire's Invention lets Savor the Moment be a 3-mana Time Warp with no downside, essentially. And Savor the Moment also works reasonably well as what I usually jokingly refer to as Bad Explorer. Because if you have Planeswalkers in play, then you get to take an extra turn. You don't get to untap, but you do get to make a land drop, and then you get to add a loyalty to all your Planeswalkers. So if you have nothing in play, Savor the Moment is a bad Explorer. It's 1 extra mana to just make an extra land drop. However, if you do have Planeswalkers in play, it's obviously considerably better. But just adding to your total number of lands in this deck is helpful. So we're playing Growth Spiral and Savor the Moment in this version to do that. And this is the most linear version of any of these builds. I was brewing up a whole bunch of these yesterday. Interesting. Let's get to it. Over 9,000 stabs? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't think there's anything problematic, and I've never even heard of the artist who did Savor the Moment. So this is a fine piece of art by an artist I've never heard of, so I'm assuming they're not problematic. I think I can have an extra Moto client open. Yeah, okay, there we go. Mulligan or keep. It's a keep. The Secret Lair Saver is from Tomek and Ral's Wedding. Oh! I don't think not being as pro as possible means that you're being non-PC. I don't think that's how anything works. Just to be clear. Is that even available on MTGO? I don't think that it is. Yeah, I don't think so, because otherwise I would own the old frame cards. Maximum Pro or You're the Worst? Could be. All right. So we're going to give an opponent a free card here. Gotta go Stomping Ground, which is fine. If they have a protection spell, it sucks because we're going to have to give them an extra card, which they do. But it does mean that I'm going to get to resolve my Red and 6, which is pretty damn important. I think I would rather immediately pick up a land and then fire both these creatures next turn. Probably a somewhat below average matchup for us. You think so? I think we have a lot of tools to just win this on the interactive front as a team or control deck. But I am open to the suggestion that that's not the case. Obviously, this game is going to go really well because they haven't found a second land drop. Not having pending sucks. I think it's fine. Concession? Can I interest you in a concession opponent? Apparently not yet. Caldra complete. Good top deck. I want to draw that now just so I don't end up drawing it later. That gal out of here. The Calda is complete, Lord Vader. Good. Everything's falling into place. Nice deck. I think it's all right, Morphling. So I started casting Time Warps. Oh, okay. I don't know that we've won, but it's going to be close. That new 3-mana white spell seems okay for him. Yeah, Mord and I were just talking about it. We were recording Faithless Brewing as that preview happened. So I only got to read and begin to process that live, but it seems fine. It seems more like a sideboard card. This is infinite turns. I think so. I think we're there. I can't guarantee that, but I think we're there. Tick up to 8 and then ult the turn after. I think so. So I haven't played these decks in a while. If it's not, we're just like we're very close. Take it up to 7. Play Saver. So here we go up to 7. We play the Saver. And then I have the Remblem with a graveyard full of stuff. So I think that's what we're going to do. So we're going to have the Remblem without a Renin 6 in play, but that's probably good enough, especially if we then cast Chandra. We're going to go minus this. Bolt that. Would I rather have 3 1-mana spells? Couldn't you just Chandra plus for mana, then Saver? I don't think the sequence worked that way. Maybe it could have, and I was just not looking carefully enough. They think this is a win no matter what. So I'm going to pass the turn here, and then I'm going to untap and cast Chandra and win. I think you may be right. You may be crazy. But after all that something something better or something. I know the melody of it. Results. Spell Pierce. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Chandra, Saver, see where we end up, but it's probably just a win. They could have Spell Pierce. Let's. Yeah. What if I took 2 extra turns? Thoughts? Opinions? Cool. There's extra turn 1. I still have a mountain. Oh, they're off it. Okay. Because what we could have done here is add red, green, play red and 6, pick up a land, go to the next turn, pick up another land, play Time Warp, and then it's over. And we do have a bunch of extra interaction to bring in here. And by a bunch, I mean 2 Posages. But I'm not worried. Oh, sorry. Hold on. I did upload the deck, but as usual, the bot likes to leave. All right. Stocky. There you go. Moon for Saga. Sure. Let's trim a Fires, a Growth Spiral, and a Saver? I think I like those. We got lands. We got enough early game interaction. Our opponent takes a mull to 6. Yeah, I know what you mean, Freak. I definitely appreciate the the confidence yesterday when I was showing you this list and you were just like, "Oh, this is sick." I'm like, "I don't know. I feel like I'm going to get run over." And you're like, "No. This is sick." All right, this is a particular hand from them that I do not have the tools to deal with my hand. Let us draw a lightning bolt. Or any of the things that allow us to easily beat this Kaldra. Shows our contempt for our fellow man. Yeah, it's definitely something that this deck does. So we're not going to do that. We're going to put in... Oh, baby. Thank you, deck. Whew. All right. All right. Now play an Urza Saga, please. Hammer. Oof. Okay, let's go haul into nothing. Just hold on to this Boseiju Spell Pierce, I think. Obviously, I could play the fires here. Just don't. I really don't think it's worth it with nothing to follow up with. Whereas we're comfortable here. We're not dying too quickly. Fires kills Pierce seems bad. Yeah. Also, like, with all their mana up, like, they can spell Pierce it and stuff, so. Definitely feeling very favored the way this game is shaking out so far. There's the Saga. That's not what I want. There. And here we name Ursa Saga. Surely the Teamer deck doesn't have a Blood Moon. Sorry, an Alpine Moon. Of course we do. Don't call us Shirley. All right. It's going to get a hammer. So definitely getting close to being maybe in a lot of trouble. Would love to draw any kind of business. I mean, am I desperate enough? Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Am I desperate enough to let them put in the Cauldron so that I can ice it to draw a card? I'm back. Hey, Beef. Am I desperate enough to ice, like, let them put in the Cauldron and just ice it so that I get to draw a card? Because if I kill his Stoneforge now, I'm just still taking 2 per turn and just, I think we lose to Cauldron. All right, fine. You're not, like, it's fair, but also, I'm going to go ahead and assume they have the protection spell, the hexproof thing. We have the spell pierce. They got to have something. Interesting. I have to go pierce here rather than anything else because I have to have this Boseiju up this turn. There's a good chance we're about to die. But I don't feel bad about it. We've drawn an awful lot of nothing. That's fine. Yeah. So if I kill the hammer or the Esper Sentinel, Either way, I'm dying next turn just from combat damage. So I think I'm going to kill the Esper Sentinel. Because depending on what I draw next turn, this should means that I don't have to pay the tax man anymore. This is punished by drawing Lightning Bolt, but not Fire Ice. And they had a second hammer. Okay, second hammer is really, really bad. Shadow Spear is irrelevant. Okay, we got to draw business right now. Okay. Let's draw. What's it called? Big score? That's not big score. That's death. All right, game 3. I did just realize, though, we should probably play Nature's Claim or a 2-mana removal spell. Artifact destruction spell rather than Boseiju. Boseiju loops with Renans. It's probably better to loop it with Renin 6 than play it with Chandra. I was thinking about playing a Chandra synergy, but it's probably better to... Yeah, it's probably better to have the loop with Renin 6. And yeah, you can use Boseiju with fires. Hull Breach. Are you thinking Hullbreaker Horror? Hullbreaker Horror is definitely a card we could play in this deck. But I don't think it's as good as Chandra. It's just like that'd be like a sideboard consideration for control decks. And I think before you played that, you'd want to play Shark Typhoon. I want to kill this Giver now. Yeah, I think so. Because if I don't get to kill anything. Yeah. Okay. We're getting Cauldron this game. Unless I rip removal again. Shadow Spear. Oh, they already have the Cauldron in their hand. Springleaf Drum. Shadow Spear. Not casting the Shadow Spear. Preferring to chip. So that means they have Pure Steel. Which might end up being good for me. Because if they've got Pure Steel into Hammer, then we get to counter their hammers. No, that's just constantly happened, Last God. That's just never stopped happening. Like, it's like every year or two, there's a new couple of, like, big blue control finishers. Hasn't that been the case since Air Elemental? No, but I mean, like, there's like it was a very specific I know what they're talking about. It was a very specific feeling about like this one has flash, but this one has flash and uncounterable, and this one has flash uncounterable and it makes tokens, and this one comes back from your graveyard, and this one can bounce itself to dodge like spot removal. So I could jam fires into Savor here and just see where we get. Obviously their plan is make a bunch of smashy constructs, and that's almost just lethal already. I think I just have to jam. Hopefully they don't have Spell Pierce here. They have 2 cards in hand. One of them is Shadow Spear. Okay. So okay. Why don't we have a companion? What companion could we have? Also, thank you for the raid, Alberto Gypsy. So if I survive to untap, if I draw a land, we get to play Chandra, dig 5. Oh, I'm not playing Karuga ever, because that would mean I'm not playing Ren in 6, and I think that's crazy and wrong. So we get to Vantress on the upkeep. Hey, Frogamed. Kruga is not free to include. Do I want a Time Warp? Yeah. We don't have any creatures. What are you? Do you know what the text on Karuga is? I assure you, it's not as good as you think it is. Karuga is not Luris. Let's go Chandra. Dig 5. Big Score, Growth Spiral, Lightning Bolt. Kahira. Oh, we could play Kahira, right? Can we? I think we could. So if I go double Big Score here, I could draw into Boseiju and I think it's only like specifically double Boseiju, unfortunately. So I think we're dead. Am I the Duff Man? I will be for Halloween. Okay. Cast with Fires of Invention with Chandra Hope's Beacon. Love that. That's cool. Yeah, Karuga on the brain. Yeah. Yeah, we're just not allowed to play any more spells. I don't have a way to bounce my fires here, so we're unfortunately just going to get squeezed out. That was a close one. That's all right. I think that's a fine matchup, and we just didn't quite draw it out. So that game where Valamakis misses? Yeah, kind of. Oh, that's tough, Frogomid. I would say MTGO is a very learned skill. It took me several years to start feeling like confident enough to play like a good amount of MTGO. That's good stuff, Last God. Thank you. Hi there, my name's Troy McClure. You may remember me from such films as You're Reading This in My Voice and You're Now Aware of Your Tongue. And thanks for the follow, Nightbird827. That's doubly awesome, Morinfin, if you play Grull vehicles, because then you do turn your cars sideways. Mord, I want you to know I did a charity stream yesterday for you where I played your Flash deck and I went I went 1 and 4 as a promotion of how awesome you are. You weren't here to help me. I played like garbage. I also was playing like hot garbage yesterday. I'd say I missed Troy McClure on The Simpsons, but I only watched the old reruns anyway. Same? Oh, yeah. Sorry, typing in the wrong box. So it's Gearport Drift if you play girl vehicles. That's pretty good. I like that. Hmm. Can I keep this on the draw? I'm gonna. It's the Mord Keep. If we hit a fetch land, it's all gonna be okay. Also, we're insulated against Ragavan. Shauna, I would recommend becoming some kind of professional creative, which is what I refer to as what I do for a living. We come up with like puns and jokes and pithy names and just literal nonsense like all day long and that is part of my job. Giver. Okay. So it's pretty easy sequence here. We go bolt the Giver, play Ren 6, ping the Esper Sentinel. Maybe should have bolted the Giver in combat. Just so they couldn't use the mana post combat. In fact, probably should have. Opponent in the tank. I know this is like a weird addiction, I want to say, or like just thing. I'm so used to playing creativity decks, and especially like these defensive creativity decks that play Time Warps. I really want to play this deck with a Dwarven Mind mana base. It's it's a problem. Yeah, I mean, it would take the off utility lands, but like when you're going for the kind of end game that this deck is, then it's not really a problem. You literally could play this deck with one Dwarven Mine. It wouldn't be the most insane thing I've ever done. In fact, I want to say it's surprisingly far from the most insane thing I've ever done in terms of crazy deck constructions. What are you getting? How much I seen you screaming about Slim Jims? If you're sick of creativity in this format, you should try playing it in Pioneer. It's very different and very fun. Spike's mono red version is awesome with the Atraxas. There's the hammer. There's the double white. Here's the paladin, and then they can put me to 1, which is a problem for me. Please no paladin. There's nothing I can do about this. I don't think there's anything I can do about. I could draw into Fire Ice. All right, that's not it. We're dead. Ooh, Root Wallas. Yeah, there's just nothing I can do, right? My 1 mana interaction can't beat that. This is only 14 damage, but then I can't. Yeah. All right. Yeah, hammer doing hammer things is whatever. I kept a reasonable hand against a reasonable chunk of the metagame, and they just had the right things to beat me there. Thanks, Boosh. I get ad money. I don't think I get more ad money from subs. So. No, I need early game interaction. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's going to be no playable goblins in Lord of the Rings. One of the things I was talking about with Mort on the podcast is goblins are such a known entity that Wizards they know when they're designing a playable goblin and when they're not, right? Yeah, there's a 3-drop enchantment that's a good card for Hammer. I think it's more of a sideboard card than anything else, but yeah, exactly. It's just also just generally letting all your equipment equip at instant speed is kind of gross. Hello, hands. Ah, this doesn't have a N6. I think I have to mull that. It has 4 lands. I can keep this, but I'm not happy about it. All right, we'll keep it. How many would you want to play of that 3-mana enchantment? Like it's like it feels like a sideboard card of me for slower matchups, and then you play like 2. Opponent is on a Multa 5, so we might have a chance here. I mean, the thing about that, Shauna, is that for Legacy, you have them, right? Like you have what's it called? For Legacy, you've got, what's he called? Goblin Lackey? Goblin Lackey. You have Goblin Lackey, right? Like, I don't, for Legacy, it doesn't, I don't feel like Goblins needs more broken cards. Yeah, and Muxus, right? Like, it's just not, they're just not getting those for Modern, which I understand. If Modern is your go-to bread and butter favorite format, then yeah. Yeah, I think Lackey would be fine in Modern, but I also don't think people would be happy about it. Not that I think that that's the most important thing in the world, but like, really would have liked to have a lightning bolt here. It's frustrating to play against Ren 6 Leyline piles with basically anything, right? I want to say it's like 150 cards to go over 9,000. It's a big set. It's a full size set. I mean, again, and we were talking about this on the podcast. I think that adding this set to Modern is their Modern version of the fact that Commander sets add to the Legacy formats. It's not because it's going to be really great for the format in any way, shape, or form. It's because then they get to sell it to more people. There's no part of them having this set go into Modern that seems to be because it's going to be interesting or exciting for Modern. This is not Modern Horizons 3. This is just a set that gets to be legal in Modern because it's not going to break anything. Okay. Okay. As long as I'm not literally dying, then maybe we can draw out. Yeah, the Orc Archer looks really good. Yep. So this is up to 14 damage at the moment. Dump a land, draw 2 bolts. Yeah, that's probably the play. I have to give him a card here, which sucks. They have access to blue mana. Could cast this growth spiral, but I think as long as they don't have a second, as long as they don't have a second hammer, I'm okay here. Also, Bolt wouldn't have done anything for me. And Pierce. No, we just didn't have the removal at the right time. So we're taking this hit and then we're gonna try to win from there. Yeah, Giver's been in play for the entire game. Okay, so we're dead. I mean, I could growth spiral into a spell pierce, but I can't cast it. Yeah, we're just dead. Cool. That's unfortunate. We played Hammer twice, and the way those games shook out, it just didn't go. It's definitely a matchup where we would have done better to be the 4-color version, but then also, so this was one of the flaws about this deck that I saw coming is just like the linear plan of this deck just isn't that great. I'm hopeful for this deck, but I think I think trying to be linear with this plan is not gonna work. So I think the fires and the growth spirals are the first thing on the chopping block, and if that's the case, what we might do is go to a 4-color version that's similar to what Freak was drawing up, where we play Teferi and just more interaction, and Omnath instead of fires. What is happening? I have never seen so much hammer time in my life. And every single one of them had turn 1 Esper Sentinel. It'll be Tef and Leyline Binding, but and probably Omnath. Karuga fires? Absolutely not. I'm not playing Karuga. Karuga's fine for the Karuga enjoyers, but it's not for me. There's no way I'm playing a turns deck that doesn't play 4 copies of Wrenn and 6. The only way I'd play one is one that would play 3 copies of Wrenn and 6. What about a certain dragon that has haste? If you're playing that, you have to play. You don't have to play creativity, but I wouldn't want to not play creativity. So I guess I just kill her Esper Sentinel now. And they might have the protection spell, and that's fine. Yeah, if Wrenn gets banned, we can come back to the Karuga discussion. But if Wrenn gets banned, I'm probably playing a lot of blue-white control. Wrenn can never be banned? Oh, I wouldn't say that. I think Wrenn is definitely ban worthy. It's sorry, not ban worthy, bannable. Like it literally was already banned in Legacy, right? So I don't want to see Wrenn and 6 go, but I think it's bannable. After the Scorched Earth banning, after them banning Astrolabe, I really don't think that it would be very difficult for you to suggest a card, and I would say that can't be banned. Hammer. I mean, Modern Horizons definitely changed Modern, for better or worse. That's up to. fairly certain I'm supposed to grab a breeding pool here. I don't really want to shock myself. I would love to be able to pull off double growth spiral here. I think pretty much any land I get is going to give me the second blue source that I'll want. Damn it. Yeah, it's not just the pure number of decks in Modern that Modern Horizons did either, in my opinion. It's also the fact that the play patterns are really good now. So they went for a hammer with Stoneforge, huh? Okay. Am I worried about a needle here? No. Probably should be. Here's where they just have the paladin. Yeah. One, 2, 10. So here's where we're under the gun. All right, let's see what happens. Yeah, and the thing is, I don't know. There's a lot of things. So that's fine. So I'm gonna get the mountain because I have Chandra to give me blue mana. We need to draw a single what am I saying? Single land in the next 3 draws. In my 24 land deck. All right. We did it, Reddit. So play Chandra. Add blue. Sack that. Saver. Let's take an extra turn. Okay. So I can use Chandra to dig 5. And then I can play any of those 5 cards on my next turn. And the question is it better for me to dig 5 now or cast double growth spiral? I'm curious. And I really do not know the answer. You're on double spiral? I think it's better. Because if we hit lands, they help to try to cast a time warp. And then you dig 5 on the next turn. I feel like dig 5 then mana is No, I know I can spiral now. I know I have one more turn. I have one more turn. I know I don't untap next turn. Which means most lands that I could pick up, I'm not going to be able to use. Not particularly well. I have all my basics in play already. Hmm. It's still spiral? I think so. Okay. So shock that, go to 1. I'm not going to put that into play in case I draw a run in 6. Okay. So go to the next turn. I don't think I have enough untapped lands in my deck. If I was playing Light Up the Night, I could draw into that and kill my opponent. So that's maybe worth thinking about for the future. Okay. I hit Time Warp, but I'm 1 mana short of casting it. And that would be like the guaranteed win, but we just can't quite do it. So I want to say that was on their turn 4 we went off. And I had basically no interaction before that point. I wasn't able to interact with them at all. The interaction that I played got blocked. So that's no Velomachus, I'll tell you that much. Man. Okay, the classic Mold of 5 Ren and 6. I mean, it's just that we've played against Hammer 3 times in a row, and every single game I think they've started on Esper Sentinel is tough. Yeah, I mean, it's good because at least it kind of very immediately kicked my deck in the ass and went like, you think you can play in Modern with this? Don't think so. No Karuga version. I'm not playing a Karuga version. I have no faith in a Karuga version. Feel free to build your own Karuga version. I do not want to play a Karuga version of this deck. Uh-huh. So they're kind of stumbling around this game. Do y'all know how good Fire Ice is? Can we get a... Should have played the Misty so I could get an island here. So now I have to fetch Shock. What about Gyruda version? See, now you're talking my language. Because you can play Gyruda with Renin 6 and the Chandra. So can I just put the Renin 6 in play every time I cast the fire part to illustrate your point? Not sure I understand. Please don't spell pierce this. Also, if they play a post-pierce Land of Shame, I'm going to chuckle. It's not dissimilar. No, I wouldn't have. I would have just held on to the fire ice, and the ice side would have been useful at a different time. I mean, I'm not saying that. I don't know. That's like trying to say Renin 6 is only good because there's fetch lands. It's like, well, yeah, but it's also not only good because there's fetch lands. There's plenty of reasons why Renin 6 is good. Has it? Oh, that's a shame. I think I'm okay with. I want to take them off their mana because if they have a 2-mana creature and they just can't cast anything, then that's very good for me. Yeah, the sad thing is we could still lose. We gotta start finding some kind of business, like. Good draw on their side. Not a great draw, though, because it's a land that is going to Stone Rain them. Let's draw Alpine Moon, shall we? That's really not the card at all that I mentioned. I knew I wasn't gonna have a good time putting Fires of Invention in a deck. But boy did I really not expect it to be this bad. Interesting. Why now? Like, what? It's very strange. Hooray, Bad Explorer. Yeah, because we could still draw interaction and want to cast it on their turn. Mm. Yeah. Oh, they've got a hammer coming in here. We're just dead, huh? Yeah, just dead again. Brutal. Jeez. All right. Um. Yeah. So 0-3 against hammer. Nothing has caught my eye that I'm excited to play with in Lord of the Rings. No. Not that I can say off the top of my head. The white remand is almost definitely the most impactful spell. Who do you think wins, Callblade or the standard Rakdos deck that got pieces banned from it? Yeah, Rakdos for sure. They're even playing a bunch of duresses and stuff as of the like end of the Pro Tour season, as far as I was. Yeah, power creep is very real. You think it's close? I don't know, honestly. I'm much more familiar with the standard deck. Okay, and we're against control or elementals. The only standard deck that's better than ones from the last 3 years have pieces banned in Legacy and restricted in Vintage. You talking Moxes? Like Mox Opal? Academy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't think Energy could beat Black Red. I don't even think that's close. I think Black Red stomps all over the Energy deck. I was playing that standard. Pending. Boo. Well, now we're in trouble. So we went from the extreme side of the best aggro creature combo deck into the hard control deck that's just going to rinse us on the other side. And I fairly explicitly ignored control when I built the sideboard of this deck. I mean, I do have some Veil of Summers and some Mystical Disputes, but okay. So it's been a long time since I played Growth Spiral, and I think I remember why I stopped. If we were talking about the most powerful standard decks of all time, I think I put Academy at number 1, and it's not close. Then probably Ravager Affinity, Simic Food, and 4-color Clover Omnath. Okay, that definitely is a ranking. Blue Black? This is Memory Deluge. Shark Typhoon. Okay. Well, while you're tapped down. Yeah. Yeah, that was the Academy standard joke. You talking tricks, Rancid Mind? Are you talking tricks? Yeah, they just play very differently, so it's really hard to compare those two because the red black deck is like a more aggressive attrition-y deck, and the 4-color Omnath was just an ungodly glut of permanents, like just overwhelming your opponent and just smashing into each other because of all the elemental synergies, right? I mean, oh, you're not talking about the Omnath deck. Yeah, I remember the Lucky Clover deck. I that's adventures. That's not. I don't remember seeing the word adventures in the name you said. Oh, Clover, right? That's the card, Lucky Clover. Yeah, this is the classic thing of like our opponent has better counter magic and better flash threats, and we're just gonna have trouble here. Okay, this is a good combination of draws because the Ren and 6 is going to make them take some action in theory. Of course, that action is probably just go Leyline Binding, and then we go, fuck. We're going to try to tap a shark, that's for sure. Oh, Necropotence. Yeah, Necropotence is definitely... Okay. So if I Spell Pierce here, they go down only 3 mana. I mean, we're going to do it. They're going to fight it out. Yeah. They let it go. They just let it go. Wild. Because this means now my Ren and 6 goes up to enough loyalty to survive the shark. Although... Sigh. Playing against good control players sucks so bad. Yep. Do they seem sixed to you? No, not at all. No, they were... I don't feel like my opponent was ever F6'd. I missed the Chandra that can't be... Well, we can play that card. We're not playing that card, but we can play that card. It's just that that's not the point of this deck at all. Red. What the hell? Oh, great. We ran into like the Psycho Jeskai player. Awesome. Yep. Would a Misty or Strand of Found Land? No, we're all out of fetchables. This is everything. Yeah, this is everything. There's a Hall of Storm Giants and there's a Castle Mantris. Those are the remaining lands. Oh, this is my second spell, so if it resolves, I can't play anything. Anyway, I'm off it. Pierce should be counterspell? I don't... Yeah, maybe instead of Spell Pierce, it could be Remand. That's a consideration that I would play. I don't want to play Counterspell in this deck. I understand that you can play Counterspell in this deck, but then I really think you're pushing it in a different direction. Counterspell plays really well with Spiral. No, I hate fires. I just thought that this was going to be the best linear version of this deck that could take advantage of Chandra's Hope's Beacon, and it just has not worked out at all. And that's fine. It's like, this is the kind of thing that happens. In fact, the only game we won so far we did without fires. I was brewing up a lot of different versions of this deck, and this was specifically for the purpose of trying to make the most linear version to resolve Chandra and go off with turn spells. And my feeling was that to do that in Modern, you basically have to have Fire's Invention, and that may not be the case. No prismatic ending one time. No prismatic ending. Okay. Just run it back with Fires as Typhoon or Fable and Pierce as Remand or Counterspell. Yeah, I mean those are all ways we could do this. My instinct is to play it as a 4-color deck. Yeah, I really, when I was playing that in Pioneer, I was blown away by how good that interaction was. I knew it was going to be good, but I didn't expect it to be that good. It really just kills people. God, I wish, Larynx. I wish. I would play so much Snow Control. I would play so much Snow Control. I mean, I guess Uro's still out, but Am I fighting over this? Yeah, why not? It's not a joke. I would play so many Ice Fang Codals. Please bring back my boy. I also would be really excited to see what Uro would look like in Modern right now, because I honestly have no idea how good it would be. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, it'd be great against Scam, and then you're like, yeah, but they have Dothy as a main deck card a lot of the time. So Unblind Splinter Twin too? Yeah, I mean, I'm not afraid of Splinter Twin. Yeah, it would be broken, but then everything's kind of broken right now, right? I don't think you would see many twin matches. It's not that good. That deck is not that good. I don't get it. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's bad, but it's not that good. All right, so we won the game, which is cool. Not officially, but we will. So I can take another turn right now. Doesn't do anything for me. Can't believe they stole our Goblin token. At sorcery speed too, right? Yeah, Twin didn't have to deal with forces and solitude and... But then again, Twin gets to play Force of Negation, Subtlety, Veil of Summer if they want. Like, I think it would be a reasonable and interesting induction into the format. So I don't know. I just can't believe that Twin is really something they can't unban. Fetch, shock, concede. You'll love to see it. No, I understand that you dislike the twin play pattern. I'm not saying I enjoy it, but then again, like, are you saying that it's better than Underworld Breach combo? Yeah, I understand, Larynx. This I just was trying to do the linear thing, all right? And it's very possible that this is actually better at it by being more interactive. I just wanted to see if I could do the linear thing. And I don't think you can. I think you have to just play the good cards and fight. No, I agree that fire sucks. That's what I wanted to try it. I tried it. Not gonna lie, I really love how fair breach. That's not a breach deck though. That's like, is it Murktide? It's like Murktide that just like registered a copy of breach. I had 2 or 3 copies of breach. It just happens to be the case that when you get to the late game with Murktide, you just like breach is a good card to be playing. I mean, that's my feeling. I don't really remember. There might be a different version of quote unquote fair breach that you're talking about that I don't know what that is. The draw 5 mode on breach is sure all right. Yeah, exactly. Like if you play breach in a deck that fills up its like that plays DRC and bubble, that's a combo. That's enough of a combo that like it's pretty much fine most of the time. Fair breach is just Jeskai, Murktide, Sans Murktide. Oh yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. Whoa. Uh-oh. Oh no. It's oh my. Okay. What do y'all think they're gonna stone brain? Anyone with opinions? Ren, yeah, I guess. It's pretty medium to me. So I could ice it during their upkeep to stop them from doing this for a turn. I don't think I benefit from doing that. I think if this is what they want to do, I think I let them do it. 03 freak. Yeah, I guess so, Kaya. We played against 3 Hammer Time decks, and no matter how badly they drew, they still won the match. Icing a land is no good. Then they just draw a land and activate. That's no good. We're icing the Stone Brain, or we're waiting until end step and then icing one of their lands if they have an untapped one. Rip. Right, but if you're gonna exile all my, if you're gonna take out my Ren and Sixes, I don't care about my man. They really boarded in the hate. Yeah, I mean, 3 hammer opponents is atrocious luck. I haven't even seen that much hammer in leagues recently. I'm just so confused. They're on 4-color blue white or 5-color blue white. They're on blue white control. The blue white control deck that plays all the triumphs. Because that's how you play blue white. Shoot my goblin. So let's discard this veil and this test of talents. Okay. Yeah, I agree. Stonebrain and Blue White is not. I don't think that's what that deck's about. But what do I know? Yeah, it probably really helps them against creativity, huh? But then playing a Stonebrain into the Spell Pierce is like, I don't know about that one, Chief. Name the card. Names Chandra Awakened Inferno with sorry, opponent. Oh, friendo. I'm not even playing that card. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. That's really funny. Let's take an extra turn. Kill your Teferi. I don't think they named the wrong Chandra. I think they just didn't know that I was playing this one because they haven't seen it yet. I mean, I'm just going to jam her in play and then +1 her. I think that's the only reasonable choice. Okay. Not the best, not the worst. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Jeez. Thanks, deck. Mm. All right. Yeah, why not? Deck needs Tom Bombadil. Ooh, theirs or mine. Neither of us can cast him. If his mana cost is what I think it is, which I'm pretty sure it is. Let's draw a land and just kill them, shall we? Close enough. Hello. You have been hit by building, opponent. Respond, please. I don't know what Shauna sounds like. I know he's East European Russian kind of persuasion. But he's just the one who always like refers to the Hollow Storm Giants as like hitting people with a building. So there's just something about it that makes me smile. Got him. All right, we have a match win. We meet a blue-white opponent who stone-brained nothing. Been learning some Russian since the last time you streamed. Really? That's interesting. Declension is hard. Send help. Interesting. I have no idea what that is. Oh no, we're back to being a deck with fires in it. Oh no. Yeah, it's one thing that I feel like throws a lot of North Americans is meeting people with a strong accent who also learned to speak British English, not American English. I just feel like it really throws a lot of people from North America when you meet someone and it's like, oh yeah, they learned British English, not American English. And it makes a lot of sense, but it is one of those things where you just occasionally are like, whoa. I was just watching an animated movie. It was really good. It wasn't the Mario movie. Um well, they tend to, Shauna, because there's just so much media that is American accent focused, right? Um Declension Impact. That I kind of thought of that joke too. God, what was I watching? Was it Sing 2? It wasn't Sing 2. Larynx, quick. Which one's bigger? A third or a half? Third or a quarter? That was the marketing failure of the third pounder. Which one's bigger? One third or one fourth? Do I? Yeah, because we. But if they have land spell pierce and then I cast fires, I don't know. This is what we came to do, right? Oh, they don't have the land. Sick. Oh, I should have used the mountain because then from then on I could use the. Okay, I see what I should have done here. Y'all gonna laugh when we still lose this? And like, it's not gonna be close, right? We're gonna get wrecked this game. I mean, that's fine. If they still don't have a third land, I'm very okay with this trade. Okay. If you go into the like lesson, there's a way to access like what each lesson is meant to be teaching you in Duolingo. Um, that was a way that I really leveled up my game with in terms of using that to learn languages, because that explains the rule that you're trying to learn usually in a way that I feel that that app doesn't normally do. Like, yeah, you're trying to learn by rote, but it does have the actual like lesson that you're trying to learn. It is in there. Um, yeah, it's in there, Larynx. So My opponent has a land setup that can't cast Renin 6. I guess it's possible they're not. Okay, they are on creativity. Or reanimator, I guess. They just must have a different setup of triomes than usual. They must be playing a third one. Which is fine. It makes sense. Persist? Yeah. Game over. User wins. So let's get these fires out of here because they're garbage. Let's play some Orvar. And Fable. And Veil. And Test. Yeah. Shave on some sabers. Yeah, we did burn down the White House. Well, burn down is the wrong word. We burned the White House. Yeah. This has no out against a turn 2 Renin 6. Yeah, let's not do that. This has no out to a turn 2 Renin 6, but does have an Orvar and a third land. So manage is backage, cruise is ovj. Yeah, this is correct. For those who don't speak millennial grinder, King Ghidra is welcoming me back from Zoomer. Yeah, sure. Thank you. Zoomer is the right. And of course, as a boomer, I couldn't remember the correct turn. Nomenclature is impossible. How do you keep up with these children? 29? Yeah, but Zoomer and boomer is not about your age. Age is just a number. I'm doomer, which is in the middle. No, there can't be a middle. As a boomer, I'm telling you, it's black or white. Just like Michael Jackson always told us. But he also told us it doesn't matter if it's black or white. Get boomer referenced. Ain't that the truth? That's funny. I think I'm gonna cycle this Veil. Am I? I think so. Just like that whole time rocket. Oh, that's Bob Seger. How many times you played it? Surprisingly, not that many. I only really played it on my first contract. I'm gonna play it a lot more as a piano guy. So if I go Veil here, Okay. And then if they have a spell pierce for my Fable, and then they put the Archon into play, we Orvar and we win. Especially with the Time Warp afterwards. You know what? And I keep telling people this, but it really is true. Since the day I turned 30, my life just got so much better, and like on almost every axis. Which it has nothing to do with the literal number. Like, it just happened to be when a lot of changes I was making in my life came together. But there's a new version of Tiny Dancer. My kids ask me how I know the words. Yeah, there was one summer where everywhere I went, there was covers of Tracy Chapman's Fast Car, but they were like EDM covers, and like it was very strange to me, like all the different versions of Fast Car that were popular all at once for some reason. Please, creativity. Hold me closer, Tony Danza. Nope. Dang. They going to go for the big creativity. Playing Fable is just going to feed into the removal they're holding on to. It might not matter with us having Time Warp. We beat X2, but they might go for like X3 or 4. I would like to find another one of my Veils. I probably shouldn't have discarded the Veil as callously as I did. I'm just going to resolve this while I can. And most of the interaction I'm looking to draw is cheap. I mean, they at this rate, they can just go for Ren and 6 Ultimate and just lock me out with whatever they want, right? That's fine. We're up a game, so. I'm really hoping they go for the creativity this turn. I spell and they don't go for the full size that they're capable of, but then I get to spell pierce, but then they fight it, but then the Orvar beats it. That's what I'm hoping for. But if they don't blink, then I think we're just going to lose. I think it's Hope's Beacon. I could not get the name of this card right for the life of me. Teferi. Okay. Veil beats Orvar, though? What are you talking about? You think they're going to Veil my Orvar? No. I can't imagine. I mean, they play Veil. They might have boarded it in. I can't imagine you board in Veil against, well, I don't know. I guess you could. I haven't played creativity for a while, so I can't run 6 into Time Warp here. Creativity sides in Veil for the mirrors and Orvars? Oh, got it. But they don't know that I have Orvar. They're just guessing. All right, we're dead here. Let's go to game 3. It's fine. They stuck the turn 2 Ren and 6 and just beat us up. Like, that's what happened in the first game in reverse. Everyone runs Orvar these days. I mean, certainly there's a good chunk of decks that do. Oof. There we go. Which is surprising. Orvar doesn't even work in goblins who can tutor. What? Creativity sides in Veil for the mirrors and Orvars. Everyone runs Orvar, which is surprising. Orvar doesn't even work in goblins who can tutor it. What? What? What are you saying? With the interaction in my hand, I think I'd rather counter their Ren and 6. Orvar is only for this matchup. It's crazy using 1 to 3 slots for one matchup. But it's the most popular deck in the format. It literally #1 on Goldfish. And not by a little. No, Orvar is not the definitive advantage of the creativity. They just proved that. They never had the creativity to beat me last game. And it wasn't difficult for them to do that. It's crazy that we have to. We don't have to. It didn't even win me the game. It was literally irrelevant. It was a blank piece of cardboard that I held in my hand the entire game. Do it, hands. Ah. You guys. Yeah, and then play a Teferi, and now we can't interact with their creativity, and they're just going to creativity me out of this game, it looks like. That's such a shame. We had such a... I mean, they literally couldn't draw a third land in game 1, but... Yeah. So we won a couple games where our opponent entirely failed to do anything in this whole league. No, we did win match. We did win a match against Blue-White Control. Which is wild. Oh. So they're worried about the Orvar still, I guess. Yeah, as long as our opponents do literally nothing, this deck is semi-functional. Our opponent also missed their Teferi Plus last turn. Not that it matters, but... Yeah, we do draw an awful lot of lands in this deck, and Fable would have really helped. The one thing that this deck is missing that the Pioneer version gets, which is really weird to have to say, but it is one of the things that makes that format distinct, and one of the things I like about these formats having such a clear difference is that dig through time is not legal in this format, which is for obvious reasons, but dig through time with the 6-drop Chandra is phenomenal, and it also helps you find the 6-drop Chandra and your turn spells, so you don't have to play so many. We're dead. Okay, so 1-4. So I had a lot of other builds of this deck. I have not and will not, and I didn't even know it existed until I started playing this and people started talking about it. Your draws are so demoralizing. I mean, that's fine. It is what it is. So something more like this is better. Without fires and without Velomachus, I don't think... I like the Hippo. I think it's fine. I just don't want to play the Hippo in a deck that's not like just the Elementals deck. Right? I don't think that's smart or worth doing. Oh, that might have been part of what happened over 9,000. Yeah. I knew there was something I was forgetting when I got back. Let's put the Fables in the main deck. Can we slot in unexpected results? We absolutely can. Not going to, but we could. Definitely not. No chance. But again, we could. But we won't. But we could. I don't think Growth Spiral is very good. How hard would it be to add Valakut Elementals to the deck? What is Valakut Elementals? Oh, Valakut Elements. Elements of Valakut? Oh, 100% you can do that. I don't have any interest in playing those cards. That's why I'm not playing those cards. Hey, how's it going, Dave? You missed the 1-4 league where the only people we beat were people who didn't do anything, and then of course blue-white control. No, you can play Valakuts and Dryad. I have no interest in playing Valakuts and Dryad. If you want to do that, you absolutely could. But then the thing is, why are you playing Chandra and Time Warp? Right? Like, then it's like, well, what's the point of the thing that we're, you know? I just tried the fires list. It was absolute garbage. It was so bad. And the only time we comboed off, we didn't have a fires. So fires is out. No, there's like BTL Valakut decks, Shauna, that are a thing, right? For Ice Bank Shivit? Absolutely not. No, obviously joking, but I don't know. Does this just want to play expressive iteration? Want to play a meme deck? I mean, didn't I just? What's the plan here, though? It's just like Teamer Control that happens to have Time Warps and Chandra. That's the plan. Magda enjoyers rejoice. 4070. Spellskites. Grist. Imperial Recruiter. I think you want to get Mord to play this. Add 4 counterspell and call it a day. I think what I want here is big score that good. Well, I kind of want something that ramps me towards the Chandra a little bit. This also could be a thing where we don't have to play 4 Time Warps. And Time Warp is just an endgame. Like, the whole point of this was to try to do the thing I've been doing in Pioneer in Modern. And I think the truth of the matter is you just can't. I did play a lot of just like Teamer Control that like occasionally played a Time Warp or 2. It's not the most ludicrous thing to do in the format. If you play less than 4 Time Warps, might as well add Ewit Ephemerate. I don't think that's true at all. I think you have to have a lot more in your deck than... Yeah, but this is going infinite turns as late game anyway. Like, that's what we're doing, right? That's exactly what we're doing. It was 3 hammer matchups. I'm not dumpstering anything. That's I'm just trying to figure out the right way to do this. Right? I think a card I definitely want to play a couple copies of is Snapcaster Mage. If I'm going to play Teamer Control, let's play some Snapcasters. Snapcaster also synergizes with Fable in a pretty powerful way. At this point, we could play some Counterspell. So at this point, we're kind of going close to an older build that I did, which ended up being like a kind of tempo-y deck. I think the 2 big score are fine. And then one thing I should probably have is Unholy Heat. Like 2 of those. I just want to play Actual Deluge. We can play an Actual Deluge. EI. Yeah. I hate EI, but I'm supposed to play it. Beast Within. That's why. No, there's no known wilderness reclamation shell that I could think of. I mean, obviously we can build and play one. In Blasphemous, you need 4 Fables. I mean, it's probably one of the best cards in the deck, right? So I'm not going to say we need 4 Fable, but I think and this is one of those things where every time I look at this deck that I've just built, I'm like, well, these Time Warps should just be Furies, and these Chandras should just be something else entirely, and this should be something else entirely, and it's just... Oh, boy. I like what I built, but I don't... You wouldn't be playing Sweet Jank. That's true. Sweet, sweet Jank. I mean, this looks very functional. Looting would be sweet in this. Faithless looting? Is there a looting I'm not thinking of? Oh, yeah, that's exactly what you're talking about. Thing about playing 4 Fables is that you can always just discard the extra Fables if you draw too many. On the flip side, it can be kind of clunky. 6 mana sorcery speed spell is tough in Modern. I agree with you. That's why I tried to make the last version where you could just kind of win on the spot, and you just couldn't. Yeah, the thing is, when I built the Teamer control decks before, what we were playing towards was Hullbreaker Horror and Shark Typhoon, and I think that's just better than Chandra. Isn't 24 lands a lot? No, not for a deck like this. Yeah, we played a ton of Hullbreaker Horror Teamer control decks. I was back when I would stream after Wafo Tapa. So, God, those were good times. Yeah, I think I'm off doing this Chandra thing in Modern. Too bad Chandra doesn't copy Hullbreaker. No, she doesn't interact with Hullbreaker at all. I think this is just one of those things that, like, yes, you can do this. Yes, you can play this deck, but it's just not going to be that good. Try one more time in a new build for the science. All right. I mean, this looks like a good deck. Not a great deck, but a good deck. It looks fun. This version does not need the mountain. And this one doesn't need the Vantress because we're not playing fires. Have we tried believing the heart of the cards? We did. Every time we believed in the heart of the cards, we drew a land. it was really shocking how consistent it was. I'm going to play 3 Fable. No, I should cut down on something else. 3 lightning bolt, just coward split everything. All air interaction. No, it's better to have extra interaction for Ragavans. Good night, Shanna. Take care. Okay. So we got to add a few more cards to the sideboard here. Let's grab Shark Typhoon. Does that make sense? No, I don't think so. I guess, no, it does, because like things like Rakdos. One of regrowth for Chandra purposes. Now that's a thought. Because I was trying to, like, that's kind of what the Snapcaster mages are here for. So that the time warps that are sitting in our graveyard, like once we find a Chandra, we can get them, we can use them. It's like the 4th copy of all the random 4th copies of cards you're cutting. Well, having very little green in your team or control deck is not necessarily a shocking or bad thing. What's the best regrowth effect we could play, though? Eternal Witness, because we have a Fable. And then we have an infinite turns endgame. Noxious, no, absolutely not. Not playing Noxious Revival in this kind of deck. Maybe Snapcaster's just a better card. Yeah, but then the card gets exiled, right? Yeah, Renin 6 is the reason we're splashing green, right? That's the entire point of playing Time Warps in this deck, is because with Renin 6 Emblem, it is the highest end game that you can have is infinite turns. Yeah. I could see cutting the second Time Warp for 1 witness and just being even more cute than we already are. Right? I have an old frame. Good. Could also just remove the Chandras at that point, use the Ewit Fable Time Warp as the end game loop. Yeah, I mean, that's the smarter thing to do, isn't it? Just not play this as a Chandra deck at all. That's frustrating. But I came here to chew bubblegum and play Chandra. So that's what we're going to do. Hold on. Gotta open some play points. My supplies are low. Only a 145. Archangel Elspeth. Oh, we got an Oko. And a Montrock. Oh, Fairy Mastermind. And an Urborg. All right, we got some Magic the Gathering cards.